What's up, everybody? I'm Chase Lee reporting for DallasMoviescreens.com, and welcome back to my continuing coverage of the 2018 Dallas International Film Festival. And I've seen a lot of movies and stuff, and so I'm covering a lot for you guys, but this is the sixth movie that I saw at the festival, and that would be Three Identical Strangers. And I'm gonna give you the baseline synopsis for this movie. And that's all I'm going to tell you, because this is one of those movies that you need to go into blind and experience this roller coaster ride of a documentary, because it is one of the best I've seen at the festival so far, and it's a trip. It is definitely a trip. So I can't recommend it highly enough. But, before I saw this movie, I had no idea what it was about. Usually when I go to film festivals, I will pick movies based on who is in it, or just kind of read the plot synopsis that they give, and I don't do any research on them. I like to just go into them blind and just see what happens. And I was pleasantly surprised on just the amount of emotional gut punches that this movie gave me. So what this movie's about, this is a real life story, and I said this was a documentary before, so this is a documentary, but it does play out like a fictional narrative, and it's quite fascinating. But it is based on real life events, and we focus on three brothers who are triplets, and they were separated at birth within their kind of adoption agency. And so 19 years later, one of them goes to a public college, or I think it was like a community college. And he was really confused because a lot of people would come up to him and hug him, and he said girls were kissing him and stuff, and they were like, welcome back, and he was really confused. He gets to his dorm room, and a guy knocks on it, and apparently it's the roommate, and he goes, you look exactly like this other person. And he's like, well, that's kind of weird. And so they put two and two together and realize, oh man, this guy's got a lost twin. So, they call and whatever, and then they get it in the news, it goes on newspapers, and it's a huge national story, right? And then you get a third guy who looks like them, who looks at the newspaper and goes, these guys look like me. So that gets national attention. And then these three brothers meet for the very first time in their lives and realize that they are triplets. And then they, develop this fame, and they go on television and stuff. And so it's about three brothers that have been separated at birth, essentially, and they've reunited almost 2 decades later, and that's where the story picks up. But I don't want to tell you guys any more, because this movie it's a surprise after surprise after surprise, and it is fascinating stuff. So, I'm just going to come out the gate with it. I love this movie, so let's get real and break this down. Negatives, I have done. This is a great documentary. Like, if you want to talk about the way the interviews were set up and how it carried the story into like this, unknown terrain, and just really kind of kept you on the edge of your seat, did a fantastic job. I thought the editing was slick. I thought the footage that they got from, the archive footage and stuff was really great. The pictures were really well done. They even have reenactments in the movie that were really well done in different contexts. There was a couple of reenactments that were very cheery and delightful, with the sun around them. It looks like they're having fun, and there'd be some that were very horrific and lit really kind of bone-chillingly. And I really appreciate reenactments and documentaries when they're done correctly. And this one is done correctly because the director is smart in using these reenactments and covering their faces and kind of using the back of their head and blurring a lot of people out, and just kind of using like the it almost looks like a faded memory. And that's what's really great about them, is because it matches to what these people are talking about. It doesn't come across as like a clear 4K looking reenactment. It comes across as like them telling a story to us, and that it's genius. So another thing I really appreciated was the amount of genre hopping that this documentary does. It starts out like Dazed and Confused. It's, the music's blaring. It's like, rocking in the 70s, and it's like, okay, this is a pretty nice story, brothers coming together. And then it delves into this like dark territory, and you're like, wow, this is real life. You can't fake this. It's one of those stories that organizations wanted to cover up, And this filmmaker, Tim Wardle, he uncovered all this. And it's like, it's just impressive that, you know, on the surface, everyone around the country just assumes these three brothers, you know, came together after 2 decades. But then when you dig down deep into it, it starts to just reveal its ugly secrets behind it and the reason why they were separated. And it's devastating, dude. And as the movie keeps going, like, I felt this like anxiety pit in my stomach because I didn't know where it was going. I was like, how worse can this get? And it keeps getting worse. And then when you realize the reason why they were broken up was for a disgusting reason. But the fact that this disgusting reason was never concluded, I'll just say that, and it was just kind of left out in the open, just makes it more effed up than it already is. That movie, it will give you anxiety for sure. But so I love the genre hopping. I love the way it's edited. It's edited so slickly. You know, just, you know, it captures your attention at the very beginning and just, you know, holds it until the very end. And that's all I can really say about it, because it's like I've told you guys a million times. Documentaries are one of the hardest and one of the easiest to review, in a sense that I can tell you, you know, how it was structured and if it, you know, delivers on its subject matter properly. That's about as far as I can go. But I can tell you guys, just from what I've told you and the basis of the story, go into this blind. You will not be disappointed. It takes you on this emotional roller coaster. It doesn't let up, and it plays out like a fictional narrative. And that's one of the biggest compliments I can give a documentary, is something that is based on real life. You're watching real people, real events, but it's edited in such a blockbuster type of way that it's just impressive. I love this movie. I love this documentary. Documentaries are one of my favorite genres to go into, because usually they're pretty good or pretty great. And this one is on the pretty great side, and it's one of the best I've seen at the festival so far. I'm going to give Three Identical Strangers a solid A. It's fantastic stuff. So yeah, what did you guys think about this movie? If you have seen it, please let me know down below. And as always, guys, I'm Chase Lee, reporting for DallasMovieScreens.com. And tune in next time for more coverage of the Dallas International Film Festival. I will see you guys later.